Being a born-again Christian doesn't mean that Christians are perfect. Oh no, we're all sinners, even Christians, maybe even especially Christians. I say especially because a common knock on us Christians by others is, well, you think you are so perfect. No, the vast majority of us followers of Jesus don't think we are perfect. Far from it. We even have a saying to describe this, simul ustis et peccator, at the same time saint and sinner. But if Latin isn't your thing, here's another way to put it. We are only beggars, telling other beggars where to find bread. This is what we do as followers of Jesus. This is what we mean when we say we tell others good news. And the good news, the greatest news of all, is that Christ bore our sins on the cross. What was once an instrument of brutal and humiliating death becomes the ultimate symbol of life and love. God's love for you, a born-again life. On the cross, the wounds of Christ heal us of all our sins. Our sins were taken to the cross, and the wages of sin were paid by Christ on the cross. And we are now forgiven and can live again because we have been born again. As St. Peter puts it, we die to sin. We have been given the forgiveness of our sins through the means of grace, specifically through the Lord's Supper. And as we learn it in the explanation of the Small Catechism, the forgiveness of sins, which Christ won when he suffered in his body on the cross and shed his blood to redeem us, is now promised in his body and blood given to us Christians to eat and to drink. The good news that we share, beggars telling other beggars where to find the bread of life, is that where sin is forgiven, there is life with God, now and salvation everlasting. And remember this catechetical truth. Here in the sacrament, you are to receive from the lips of Christ forgiveness of sin. It contains and brings with it God's grace and the Spirit with all his gifts, protection, shelter, and power against death and the devil and all misfortune. As Christ gives us victory over sin and Satan in the sacrament, he strengthens us for new life in him. So, what does this mean for you today? Well, there's no need to fear. In an increasingly fearful world, there is no need for the follower of Jesus to be afraid. We have died to sin. Nothing can harm us ever again, not really harm us. Our rescue, our salvation, our lives are secured in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And now we live to righteousness, Christ's righteousness that is now ours through his death and resurrection. Therefore, you are blessed. God brings his mercy to you anew every morning. And others can benefit. As you live the born-again life, you see the boundless needs still in the world, and now you can bring the boundless love of Jesus to their need. And they will be able to live with you with boundless hope.